sorry, a major objective for organizing this program is basically to get bankers to understand some of the things we must do. You know, you get to a point you realize that it's like, for me, like we need a national emergency to be able to ensure that we contribute our own quota to national development while we work for our bank, actually, but to be able to understand what exporters really need and what we need to be doing at this time, especially as a bank. I'm hoping that after this session, maybe we'll be able to get information back to our banks on the need for some of the recommendations to be implemented, some of the recommendations to be implemented. I'm hoping that that will happen. From what I can see, we might need to use 2 days for this. Maybe we'll do today and Friday. I have a session in the evening tomorrow. But let's see how far we're able to go today. We'll be spending about 2 hours today and probably 2 hours on Friday also. So we're discussing marketing, managing, and multiplying export trade customer, particularly export trade customer. So we're looking at what can we do to market them? Who are the real export trade customer, and what can we really do to market them? In the course of the conversation, please, if you have questions, comments, feel free to drop it inside in your chat. When we end, I will allow you to be able to comment speaking, but that will be at the end. But now I won't be able to do that now, so I can just continue. But at the end of each module or each section, I can go into the comment box and answer your questions. So you can feel free to drop your comments so you don't forget some of the things that comes to your mind that you would like to ask me in the course of this conversation. So I'll be discussing preamble, potentials, problems, promotions, proposals, and participation. So for preamble, just general overview, which some of us are already familiar with. Potential is to look at the opportunities that we really can take advantage of. Then problems. What are the problems of export customers? Because when you are going to promote, when you're going to market yourself, you're going to sell to them, you must be selling to them what they want to hear. And who are the potential exporters? I'll be spending a lot of time talking about potential exporters. And the reason is because currently in Nigeria, we have less than 1,000 exporters, active exporters. I'm not talking about people that have registered with Nigerian Export Promotion Council. Those that are registered with Nigerian Export Promotion Council might be more, no doubt, but the people that are actively exporting are less than 1,000. At the end of this year, we'll be able to know from TRMS, trade system of CBN, so we'll be able to know indeed how many people eventually shipped. But over the years, it has been like that. So if, each time I talk to banker also, most of the time they ask me daily, I need an exporter, link me with exporter. And most of the time I said, why are you are asking me to link you with an exporter? They already have a bank. If there's nothing you're going to offer differently, uniquely to them, most likely they will not be interested. I think while we are looking to market the existing exporter, we should also be looking at potential exporters. And I'll be spending a lot of time on that. Potential exporters, organizations that have what it takes to export, but they're not even aware they can export. They are not aware they can export. They have what it takes to export, but people, the need for us to consider the other people who are outside who are not currently exporting but have potential for export. Because if we don't focus on that, what will happen is that we will not be able to leverage on the Nigerian potential for export. We will not be able to. And one of the reasons why we are doing this seminar, even doing it for free, is because we believe strongly that bankers have what it takes to contribute to the growth of export trade in Nigeria. And the reason is because there are people you have access to by virtue of your job in marketing customers that have potentials that maybe as a result of this seminar, you get to know some of those things and then begin to consider talking to them about it. Let me give you a good example before we start. A customer who is importing has potential for export already. All he needs to do is to tweak it, just switch. And this customer are currently having issue with Forex anyway. So they have more incentive, more reason to consider export. Even if they weren't consider export before, they have more reason for it. So a customer who is importing battery, as I like to use an example, can begin to export lead ore to the buyer abroad. Can begin to export lead ore to the buyer. The same buyer to the supplier rather, the same supplier that is supplying him battery can buy lead ore from him. And Nigeria have over 10 million tons in deposit of lead ore. And those are the kind of possibility I want us to be thinking about outside the normal. Of course, like I said, that will not stop us from doing our regular marketing of the regular people in that space who are currently doing the business. But I'm saying beyond that, can we begin to consider others? So potential, I'll be looking at those potential. Then the problem, because of the potential, we must identify the problem that is hidden up from tapping the potential and what they can do. Then if you are marketing to them, that's the promotion. What will you do? And then what are the proposals I have for the bank on what can be done? And then I'll be talking about some other program that we have afterwards. This seminar, a series of seminars, this is just one of the series of seminars we are having. Tomorrow we are having another one, although that one is targeted at exporter in particular, but it's not a bad idea if you're able to attend. We've done these other ones in the past, handling the import challenges. We've talked about that. We've discussed exportable products. Then we talk about sourcing buyer, but the sourcing buyer we did last week, we could not exhaust it and we had to break it into two. Just the way this one might be broken into two, break it into two. We'll be doing part 2 tomorrow, 4th of June. Part 2 tomorrow, sourcing for buyer abroad in the post-COVID era. Then ICT as a tool for export market access will come afterwards. Then product price in the post-COVID era, sourcing for export finance in the post-COVID era. I think that one will be very important for you to attend. It will be of value to you. Export documentation in the post-COVID era and reducing foreign exchange losses on importation in Nigeria in the post-COVID era. Now, at the end of this session, we hope to open your eyes to the income and the deposit opportunities. Income and deposit opportunities in the export now, not just import, although we'll be referring to import, but the focus will be on export environment in Nigeria, and that by making you to attract more export trade customers to the bank, effectively manage and multiply trade customers, to also plan for the future of trade in Africa. I'll be talking about AfCFTA, the African Continental Free Trade Agreement, to meet your deposit target with less stress, to make necessary adjustment in your marketing plan, to surpass your income target with ease, to strategize how to give your best to your employer, and also to change your paradigm about work, to become solution provider to trade challenges, and to position the bank to take advantage of the AfCFTA. So we are hoping that at the end of this session, you'll be able to position your bank to take advantage of the AfCFTA. So I'll be going to discuss